and welcome to the Tennis Podcast. My name is Nick.
I'm Brandon.
Here's how this show works. Each week, me or Brandon come prepared with the top 10 list. The other does not know what that list is until the minute we hit record. This week, Brandon has a list prepared. I don't know what it is. I'm going to try to guess what's on that list. It's pretty simple.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Let's just do it. The list that I have brought this week is the top 10 most popular baby boy names in the year 2011.
Baby. Why 2011?
Well, first of all, why not? Also because I was specifically looking for a certain type of name. And there was that type of name began rising in popularity in the year 2011, at least according to the United States Social Security Administration.
Okay, so this is United States baby boy names.
This is, we're not going to have to try to pronounce names from all around the world. And it's also because these are baby boys whose names were registered with Social Security. So it doesn't include baby boys who were born off the grid.
In the woods
to hill people.
Are these baby boy humans?
These are baby boy humans.
Okay, so we're not guessing.
Before we get too into it, I need to take you back to the year 2011.
Okay.
To get your mind in the right time frame. What were you up to in the year 2011?
Let's see. 2011, I was a junior/senior in college. I worked at a veterinary hospital, if you can believe that. I feel like I was probably watching a lot of Family Guy. What else was I doing? And I don't know. I was
45 years old.
And wait, that's it? In 11?
No, in 2011, I was just married and working, no kids. I had fun on the weekends and evenings.
What does that mean?
It means I got to leave my house and see people and do things.
Oh, you don't do that now?
No, I just do baby stuff.
Yeah, for those that don't know, which would probably be most of you, Brandon is having his second little boy any day now. I mean, it's scheduled for a few weeks, but could come any day now.
Could come any day now. Very appropriate to be looking at a list of baby names. In 2011, a gallon of gas cost $3.52. A U.S. postage stamp could be purchased for a mere 44 cents.
As opposed to what now? How much is a postage stamp?
49 cents.
Okay.
Occupy Wall Street.
Oh, yeah.
Was occupying Wall Street.
Who was president in 2011? Was that Kennedy?
It was Barack Hussein Obama.
Oh.
Was president in 2011. The Apple iPhone 4S had just come out. And Charlie Sheen was drinking blood and getting fired from that show that he was on.
2.5 Men. Wasn't he drinking tiger blood?
Yeah, he was drinking tiger blood, and he had Adonis DNA. That's when I think he has a drug addiction.
We should probably research that further before making wild accusations.
Well, I'm not one to tell tales out of school. So now that you're in the mindset of 2011.
Very much.
I don't even, what was on the radio in 2000? Exact same stuff that's on the radio now.
You know what happened in 2011? Michael Jackson died. Michael Jackson died in 2011.
Oh my God.
What?
Michael Jackson died?
Okay. You know, I do have plans to do a Michael Jackson episode as well.
Okay. So the top 10 baby boy names, the most popular baby boy names in the year 2011. I'm going to just briefly, I'll let you know that this was a big year for biblical names. A lot of years lately have been big on biblical-based names.
Because if you name your boy after someone in the Bible, you're going to heaven automatically.
Yes.
Automatic free pass. I wish I had known that before. Or after, I guess.
Tell that to John Dillinger. First, give me a handful of names that you know are not in the top 10 most popular baby boy names for the year 2011.
Nick, Brandon.
No. The year that you were born, 1990.
No, it's
What?
not the year I was born.
Oh, well, then I don't have my facts right.
What about that? What about 1990?
In the year 1990, Nicholas was the 14th most popular name. And in the year that I was born, Brandon was the 19th most popular name.
It's interesting because this podcast could become the 19th and 14th most popular podcast if people pause right now, go leave us a 5-star review on iTunes.
Is that what it does? It raises our
Yeah.
cachet.
Yeah, and while you're there, you should subscribe. So we'll give you a second. Go ahead and go do that right now. It takes just a second. And-
We'll wait. Let's just wait a minute. Don't edit this out.
Okay. All right, that's about as long as it would take to do that. So I'm glad you did it, listener.
So what's not on the list?
Nick, Brandon, I'm gonna say Sam's not on the list.
Sam is not on here.
I'm gonna say, let's see. I'm gonna say Tyson's not on the list.
No.
I'm gonna say Bill, George, Frank, Harry, Jim.
One of those you were wrong about.
Which one? I'll bet it was George.
Well, I'm not going to tell you.
It was George, wasn't it?
No. You were right. There are not a lot of classic man names here, but there are not a lot of babies being born these days named Frank or George. There are a lot of uncles being born named Frank and George.
At the Uncle Factory. I don't have an Uncle Frank or George, but
There's
I have
not a lot of Howards. There's not a lot of baby Howards.
Howards. Can you imagine? No offense.
But there was. My grandfather's name is Howard, and at one point
Mine's Frank.
they were just saying, like, somebody go check on little baby Howard.
Yeah. No, I get it. But I'll bet it was Howie, though. Howie,
Yeah,
I
we
could see.
call him Howie.
All right, I'm going to say that Spot is not on the list. Spike. Max. I'm going to say Susan's not on the list.
These are infuriating.
Katie is not on the list.
No.
Sally. Sugar. Fido. What about Pen, Spoon, TV? Are any of those on the list?
Let me tell you about a name that is not on this list. That is definitely not on this list. And it's maybe on the top 10, like, I can't believe they named someone this names. When our first child was born, one of the nurses there told us about if you name your child something strange or odd or extremely unique, they automatically call the Department of Health and Services to come and do a welfare check. Like, naming a child something very out of the ordinary, I guess, is an indicator that these parents or mother should be talked to by Department of Health and Services or Human Services, whatever it is.
Give an example of some names that would fit that.
Well, the name was Monster.
Maybe they were a Gaga fan.
First name Monster, second name Amadeus. And
I don't think... all right, I'm just going to say it. I kind of like the name Monster for a kid.
well, it got the Department of Health and Services called on them. And a few years later, my nephew was talking about this boy who kept getting in trouble at daycare and mentioned that his name was Monster. And it's either the same Monster or there's more than one kid out there named Monster.
I know I call my kids damn dirty monsters all the time.
Oh, Jesus.
That's a joke, everybody. Just joking. But maybe this kid that you're saying could be a second monster. Maybe his name is something else, but his parents called him Monster enough times that he was confused and thought, I go by Monster.
That all the children and staff at daycare also refer to him as Monster. Okay. I think it's pretty clear none of those are on the list. Why don't you start trying to guess the top 10 most popular baby names in the year 2011?
I got a few surefire guesses. Well, maybe these would be more like 2015 or something, but I'll guess anyway. Jace.
No.
Really? I hear Jace all the time. Okay, what about Jackson with an X?
No.
Huh, okay.
So I know the trend you're picking up on. And it's the trend of designer names that end in an N sound, similar to my name.
And by the way, it's not even your real name, your real first name. So he's a fraud, everyone. His name's not actually Brandon.
I don't want to tell everyone out there my real first name and my middle name because I don't want Googling to happen.
All right.
However, yes, my name also falls under the category of ending in an sound and being what I think sounds like a made-up name, although I guess it's not. Brandon is a Scottish or English name. That kid in Game of Thrones is named that, and there's nobody with like...
No, it's Bran.
No, Bran is short for Brandon. You claim to be a big fan of that show.
No, but I think it's Brannon without a D. I don't fucking know.
I have...
I just got to be right now.
No, you're not.
All right, well, you said biblical.
Anyway, these names, yes, like Jackson and Jackson and Braxton and Braden and Caden and Jaden and
Braxton
Caden.
Hicks.
Yeah, that's the trend that I was looking for when that trend began. And as near as I could tell, some of those names started showing up in the year 2011. So
wait, so some of those are on there?
There are 2 or 3 names that I think fit in that category, but not all. This list is not full of names like that. And I need to remind you that most of the names in this list, as are most of the most popular names for the year 2018, are biblically based. So they are Hebrew-based names.
All right, I'm going to start with that because I can't think of any of the other ones right now. Biblical names. How about Titus?
Titus is not on the list.
Isn't that a biblical name?
There's a book of the Bible named Titus, but I only know one guy named Titus. There's no baby Titus. Try again.
I know a baby Titus. Okay, then how about...
Well, there's no baby Titus on this list.
How about Luke?
No.
Jonas?
No.
Noah?
Yes. Noah was the 5th most popular name for boys in the year 2011. It is a Hebrew name meaning comfort or rest. And for each of these names, I tried to think, I put down, when I hear that name, who's the first Noah that I think of. And the first Noah that I think of
Noah's
is the guy
Ark?
a guy who got inside the ark.
I mean, if that wasn't your first thought, then I would say you're a fucking heathen.
And also Noah Baumbach, who's a screenwriter. That was honestly the other thing that popped in my mind. Okay. So yeah, that's Noah. You're on the right track with Old Testament biblical names.
Okay. I mean, I'd be surprised if Abraham was on there.
Oh my God. Don't get that biblical. We're not making deep cuts.
Adam.
No. Think of names that you know people are named.
Cain.
Abel.
Well,
Esau.
That's a trick question, Brant, or that's a misdirection, because I can't think of people that I actually know this name because they're all adults. We're talking about baby boys.
Do
Moses.
you want me? Huh? I'll give you a clue to one of them.
Jesus.
Okay?
Wait, Jesus. God.
Nazareth. No, it's not. Jesus is not on here. Although I will say
Satan. Lucifer.
Beelzebub is on here. Beelzebub is number 10. No, I'll give you a hint. The Lion's Den.
Oh, Daniel.
Daniel is number 10. Daniel is still a popular name.
I wouldn't have guessed that. Obviously, I didn't guess it, but
it's an extremely common name. It's a Hebrew word. Again, it means God is my judge, and that the phrase "God is my judge" reminded me of those tattoos that I see sometimes on the internet that say "Only God can judge me."
Right.
The first Daniels that came to mind were Daniel Boone, the frontiersman folk hero, and Daniel Craig, the James Bond folk hero.
Daniel Radcliffe, the Harry Potter folk hero.
The wizard. Yeah, See, popular name.
All right. Is there any other biblical names in there?
Yes. Do you want to talk more? Let's find another biblical name and see if we can get.
Are any of these names of the books in the Bible?
No.
What about James?
No, but I like the way you're thinking. James is a New Testament name. These are biblical. These are
all right. I got
Old Testament.
Goliath.
Yeah. Nebuchadnezzar.
All right. Everyone's rolling their eyes at me, laughing at myself. Okay, David.
David is not on here. I think that is a good guess. David is not on here. Neither is Deuteronomy or Elisha.
Job. Oh, wait.
Job.
Wait, Elisha's not on there? Elijah?
Actually, Elijah is a popular name.
Yeah.
Although Elijah is not on here.
Eli.
No. Eli is short for Elijah.
Is it? No, people are just named Eli, aren't they?
I'll give you a clue to another biblical name.
All right.
Ladder. There are people tearing their hair straight from their scalp right now, angry with you for not getting this.
Ladder? From the Old Testament?
Yes. He possessed a ladder. Or was building.
Sorry, Bub. I may have. I may have had a Jefferson's Bible. Jacob. Okay.
Jacob.
What number is that?
Jacob is the number one most popular name.
What? I wouldn't have guessed that was in the top 10.
There are more 7-year-olds running around right now named Jacob.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, Oh wait, no, his name's not Jacob. It's Jacob.
Were you about to name a family member by the wrong name? Jacob is a Hebrew name. It means Yahweh. Yahweh God will protect. And the only Jacob that I have immediate name recognition of is the character from Lost. And he was ultimately disappointing. So I hear that name and I'm disappointed because Jacob the reveal was disappointing.
Lost is approaching Roger Rabbit territory with you. Okay, are there any other biblical names? I have one in mind.
Yes.
Jericho.
They're not that biblical. It's a name that you...
But you can call him Jerry for short.
Okay. Another biblical name that's on here is also the same first name as one of your favorite TV characters. And it's not Gerald.
I was going to say Jerry. It's not Kramer. Michael?
Yes. Michael is a biblical name. It is number 6.
It's so common now. I guess it is. Now that you say it, you're right. I remember that. But
it's so common that, I guess you forget that it is a biblical name. It is a Hebrew name.
How do we know they're not naming him after Michael Scott and not the Bible?
Biblical name that poses the rhetorical question, who is like God, implying that no one is. And the 3 Michaels, there's 3 Michaels that always spring to mind when I think of the name Michael. Michael Scott was one of them. Mm-hmm. Michael Myers.
Yeah.
And Michael Jordan.
What about, remember when John Travolta played Michael the Angel in that movie in the 90s? Do you remember that?
Yeah, it was called...
The movie was called Michael.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the
they
first
said
thing
he
I
smelled
thought.
like cookies.
Did they?
Yeah, he had one of the interesting things, I guess, about being an angel is that you always smell nice. And Andy McDowell's character said that he smells like cookies, like sugar cookies.
Why am I not surprised that not only do you know the movie, you know a central plot point in the movie, and you know some other actor's name in the movie off the top of your head?
It was not a central plot point that he smelled like cookies.
This is what it's like being friends with Brandon, people. All right. Are there any other biblical names?
Yes, but it's a name that I did not think was a biblical name.
Kind of like Michael.
Let's see if you can guess it. It is the Hebrew word Eitan, E-I-T-A-N, meaning strong or firm.
Samson?
Is there...
What? That's a real guess.
I said Eitan.
Yeah, but Samson was strong.
Ethan.
Oh, Ethan. Okay, Ethan. I thought you said some other.
It comes from the word Eaton.
Oh.
Being strong or firm.
Okay. All right.
And when I hear the name Ethan, I think of, well, what do you think of when you hear the name Ethan?
Ethan Hawke.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. That makes more sense than mine. I thought of Ethan Allen, the furniture guy.
What?
And Ethan Hunt from Mission Impossible.
Is that who Tom Cruise plays?
Mm-hmm.
What number is Ethan?
Oh, number 7. I thought you were asking what number is Ethan, like is he a 007? No, Ethan is number 7 on this list.
Are we ready to move out of Bible land yet?
There's one more name on here that is listed as being biblical, and I have no clue how they got from the biblical word to this name. So I'm just going to give it to you. Coming in at number 4, from the biblical Jotham, or Jotham, Jotham.
Joseph?
Meaning thankful. No, Jaden.
Oh, Jaden. With a...
Jaden is one of those names that I presumed was a designer-made-up name.
Uh-huh.
And they're saying it's based on the biblical Hebrew word Jotham, and I don't see it. But the only Jaden that I know is Jaden Smith, the son of Will Smith and Jada Pinkett.
Do you have any frame of references at all that aren't movie-based?
No.
Okay.
In fact, you're going to be even more disappointed with my references as the list go on. Do you know who Jaden Smith is?
Yeah. I saw that movie. Well, first of all, The Pursuit of Happiness. That's him, right? That kid?
I guess so. I don't know.
It's Will Smith's. Okay. Well, did you see After Earth? After
I heard about it, and
Yeah.
that's his kid.
Yeah. He was in The Pursuit of Happiness, too. Pursuit of Happiness, great movie. After Earth, not great. Do you feel that Will Smith, he was on top of the world at one point. I just feel like he has not had a good few years.
No, I don't know who is making his career decisions. It's weird to watch some of these guys who can do such amazing things like Eddie Murphy and Will Smith, even John Travolta. It's like every once in a while he shows up in something, he's really impressive. And then other times it's like, is this straight to video? Like, do you have gambling debts? I've heard that Nicolas Cage doesn't turn down anything that's sent to him. And that maybe he has debts and things, and that's why he appears in both great stuff and like laughably bad stuff.
What's the last great thing that Nicolas Cage was in?
Like good thing?
Yeah, that you saw.
I'm trying to think of something recent. I don't know. I honestly would have to look it up.
National Treasure 3?
No, none of the National Treasure movies.
First one wasn't bad.
Raising Arizona. That's only like 30 years old.
Face Off.
The Rock.
No, I said Nicolas Cage.
He is in The Rock. Oh, God.
It was a joke. All right.
Let's
move on. We got number 1, Jacob. Number 4, Jaden. Number 5, Noah. Number 6, Michael Scott. Number 7, Ethan. Number 10, Daniel. So I'm missing 2, 3, 8, and 9. Is that right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right. Okay. What are the 7-year-olds these days named?
These are all kind of cutesy little names, I think. I'll give you a clue. So to number 2.
So it's not Tyrese.
No. Number 2 also ends in an N sound. Start naming names that end with an N.
Jason?
No. Ooh, you're so hot. You're on fire.
Mason.
Jason.
Mason.
Mason is number 2. You're on fire.
I don't know anyone named Mason, but
the only Mason I could name was Mason Crosby, the kicker for the Packers. And I knew when I said that, you would look at me the same way the dogs look at me when I ask them like a math question.
I don't know why you're asking a dog a math question.
To get the look that you probably just gave me.
My experience, dogs are much more well-versed in matters of science. That's a discussion for another episode. What can you tell me about Mason? What's it mean?
It's a French name. It's commonly a surname that was given to stone workers. You know, of
Yeah.
Mason.
Right.
And they just switched it up and said, let's just make it his first name. That one's fine. That's a fine first name.
Yeah, no.
Mason Crosby is a hell of a kicker.
I'll have to take your word for it.
Okay. So we got Mason. There's 3 left here. The third on the list, it's a man's name. It's not much of a baby name. Not even much of a kid name, but it is a man's name.
Charlie. No, that's a kid name. Is Charlie on here, though?
No. This comes from the German words will and helm.
William.
William means strong-willed warrior.
And weird.
And weird warrior. And William, when I hear William, I immediately think of William Wallace from Braveheart.
What number is William?
3.
When I heard William, for some reason, the first name that popped in my mind was William Cosby.
Oh, no. Is it because we just said Mason Crosby?
Right.
And you got Osby on the brain. I've never heard him referred to as William Cosby.
Well, it's got to be his name, right?
You picked a hot button topic.
All right, let's just put that in the corner over there then and step back over here.
Let's not push that hot button.
So I'm missing 8 and 9.
8 and 9. I would be shocked if you would guess either of these.
Let me try.
Neither of them are biblical. Neither of them are based in Hebrew. Would you like me to tell you the 2 languages they are based in?
Please.
Greek and Celtic.
Celtic. Okay.
The Celtic one is another version of what sounds like the trendy designer names made up to and then ending with an N sound. But this is actually an older name. It just sounds like it fits in with the Jadens and Cadens and Bladens. You're never going to guess it. It's Aiden.
Aiden, God.
It's Celtic. It means little fire. I've never met an Aiden in my entire life, and the only Aiden I could think of was Irish-American actor Aidan Quinn. And then when I looked him up, I realized I've never even seen anything that he's been in. I don't even know how I know his name.
First person I thought of was Adrian Brody, which is not Aiden.
Which is also not the name.
Right. Brody would be a good guess, though.
And there's one left.
Baxter.
There's one left.
Baxter.
No, it is not Baxter. It is
Bartholomew.
Greek.
Bartholomew.
It's Greek.
Frederick.
And if you think about Greece, it's his name. It's not Socrates. Okay. It's not.
What was John Travolta's name in Greece?
No.
What was it, though?
It's not Danny Zuko.
Is it Danny?
It's not Danny. Daniel's already on this list. Greek. Who?
I don't know.
Just name anybody who is Greek.
Chucky. I don't know.
Alexander.
Really?
Alexander is the 8th most popular name.
Alexander the 8th.
Alexander is Greek. It means defender of men. Obviously, it's from Alexander the Great.
Alexander the Great.
That's what I think of when I hear Alexander. I also think of the book, Alexander and the Terrible, Horrible, No Good, Very Bad Day.
I got one for you. Jason Alexander.
Yeah, I think about that guy too.
That's George and Seinfeld for the late person out there.
Tell the folks at home who Jason Alexander is.
Well, if you're listening to your own fucking podcast, you would have heard that I just did that.
Did you ever read Alexander and the Terrible, Horrible, No Good, Very Bad Day?
I've seen the cover. I've heard about it. Maybe I read it.
This guy had the worst damn day. He wasn't exaggerating.
Maybe
either.
that's where the name came from.
He had the worst day. I remember off the top of my head that his mom took him and his brothers to get new shoes, and his new brothers got cool shoes with like different colored stripes and stuff on them, and all he got were plain old white. And then he went home wearing his dorky new shoes, and he didn't like what they had for dinner. And he had gum stuck in his hair. And then the cat didn't want to sleep with him. It wanted to sleep with his stupid brother. And he bit his tongue, and his nightlight burnt out, and he didn't have his favorite pillow. There was a bunch of other stuff that happened that day. His ice cream fell off the top of his cone. Every time I hear the name Alexander, I just have these waves of horror.
A couple thoughts here. One, was there a page on there about how disappointed he was that he was only in 8th place for his name?
No, he hadn't even considered that yet.
2, is there a happy ending to this book?
Yes, the point is that some days are just like that.
And number 3, it could have been worse, Alexander. You could have been a starving kid in a third world country.
Yeah,
so I gotta say, I don't have a lot of time for people like Alexander that just stew in their own self-pity.
That really is what the story is about. He's just wallowing in self-pity. I love that book.
All right, let's go through the list from the top here.
All right, number 10 was Daniel. Number 9 was Aiden. Number 8, Alexander. Number 7, Ethan. Number 6, Michael. Number 5, Noah. Number 5, Jaden. Number 3 was William. Number 2, Mason. And number 1, most popular baby boy name in the year 2011, Jacob.
Are you sure Goliath wasn't on the list? I thought I heard you say that.
It was number 11.
Okay.
Number 12 was Shadrach.
Shadrach and Benny. Did you see were you a VeggieTales kid growing up?
No, I was too old for VeggieTales.
Well, there was a VeggieTales about that, but we don't need to get into it.
Were you a Howdy Doody kid growing up?
No. What is that?
See, that was my attempt at a joke. Let me explain for the folks at home. Howdy Doody was a popular children's television show in the 50s. The joke being that I'm older.
Oh, see, it would have been funnier if I said it, though, to you. But I get where your head was at. Just, we'll work on it.
I'm embarrassed for you.
Brandon is a podcasting rookie. So am I, but I'm handling it a little better, I think. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this list. I think it's a good example of how every episode is completely different. In episode 1, we had the best-selling video game franchises of all time. In number 2, we had the most popular U.S. presidents of all time. In episode 3, we had the most successful restaurant chains in the world. And episode 4, right here, we have the most popular baby boy names in the year 2011.
And the thing that ties them all together is that they are all completely inconsequential.
Well, there's a lot of money on the line, and
betting in the sports books.
All the people that use our podcast to bet. All right, guys, we're going to head out. If you haven't already, be sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Our username for all 3 of those is TennishPod, 10ISHPOD. Follow us there. Leave us feedback on the show. Eventually, we're going to be taking polls and suggestions for future episodes. We'll be back next week. I'll do a list that Brandon won't know what it is until we hit record. And it won't be baby boy names in the year 2012. That I promise you. Brandon, thank you. Listeners, thank you.
No, thank you.
Goodbye.
Bye.
We'd like to thank Kevin McLeod for his song Hackbeat, which we found on Incompetech.com for the official Tennis Podcast theme.